This is the Glass Cannon Network.
We're back. We have time traveled from last week when you saw us directly to this week. We just landed here on this date. Wow, look at it's so different from where we were.
What's the name of the thing that changes like the clothes that you wear?
Our impersonator mesh.
Our impersonator mesh makes it look like we changed clothes between sessions.
But we didn't.
Yes. Now we can blend in with a week later. So nobody suspects that we're time travelers.
And I will remember every single thing that happened last week because we moved so quickly. So I won't forget anything at all.
We're so fresh from our last session. There's no way you could forget anything. What are we talking about? Well, hi, welcome to the Game Garage, a show on the Glass Cannon Network where we play tabletop role-playing games. And we are playing a game about time travel called TimeWatch by Kevin Culp and Pelgrane Press. And you should know that some of our adventure content comes from their many excellent adventure supplements, such as this one, Behind Enemy Times.
Oh, I get it.
Good title. Juicy title.
Behind Enemy Times.
I love
we use some adventure content from Kevin Culp, the creator himself, who has created this very, very fun game for us to play today. And I have with me, as I have in the previous times, Mary Lou, Joe O'Brien, and Paula Deming. What's up, guys?
What is up?
Hello.
Hello. Very, very happy to be back. Since I'm the big shill of the network, I have to remind you, Jared, that we've got a discount code for this game.
Oh, yes.
If people are loving it. What is it? It's just Glass Cannon, right?
Just Glass Cannon in all caps. And put that into Pelgrane's website and you'll get 10% off the TimeWatch merchandise.
Oh, that's so. And if I'm not mistaken, next week, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to give away an actual hard copy.
We're going to give away a hardcover copy of the book. This is a big, meaty book. How many pages does this... You know what? Forgive me. How many pages does this fucker have?
Yeah, can I win the giveaway?
No, you can't. Well, actually, maybe you can. 300...
I mean, if
392 fucking pages. This is a beautiful full color hardcover. Everything you ever need to time travel around the table with your friends is in TimeWatch by Kevin Culp and Pelgrane Press, and we'll be giving it away next week when we time travel there shortly.
Shortly.
So. We're about to get into the game. Before we do, I want to talk a little bit about William Shakespeare. It looks like today's adventure is going to deal with William Shakespeare. And Paula, it sounds like you're kind of aware of where, as usual, Paula, the history nerd, was aware.
Here we go.
You were aware of kind of where the adventure was going.
Well,
yeah, put on your nerdy glasses, dork.
Tell you about the theories behind William Shakespeare and whether or not he actually wrote any of the work, or did he even leave codes within the work? Yes, there was an episode of my podcast where we talked about this.
Here we are again.
Monsters.
I want to
This show is sponsored by Paula's podcast.
I want to hear y'all's discoveries, because I did a project about this in college, and I want to know if we came to the same conclusions.
Well, all I know is...
Two academics comparing notes. Go for it.
I personally think I think Edward de Vere, the Earl of Oxford, I'm an Oxfordian. I tend to believe that the Earl of Oxford was perhaps the one writing Shakespeare. A lot of people get mad at me about that, but that's what I think. I just am not convinced that based on what was written in the stories that
Imagine getting mad about that. Okay, go ahead.
You will not believe The William of Stratford-upon-Avon, I just don't know that he had the education to write about the things that were written about. That's all I'm saying.
Very elitist of you, Paula. Mary Lou, your take.
Okay, so this is wild because of who I am as a person. But I took a class my freshman year called Information Theory and the Mathematical Theory of Communication. I did that willingly. I don't know why. The first day we went around the table and talked about what we wanted to major in. This is freshman fall, so I'm bright and squeaky 18. And everybody's like, computer science, physics, computer science, mol bio, electrical engineering. And then I'm like, I don't know, English. And so they called me the English major for the rest of the semester. Not by my name, the English major. And I failed every single homework assignment, got a F or a D. But then our final project was worth half of our grade, which was kind of illegal, but it was fine. Illegal to college law. But it was fine.
College law. Is that our next role playing game?
That's our new TV show.
Yes.
We're college law enforcement officers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You play counsels defending people to the student council.
From plagiarism. And
You can't expel my client. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mary Lou.
Okay, and so our final project, I chose something. So I was like, if I'm the English major, then I'm the English major, baby. And I was using information theory to try and see if all of Shakespeare's works, or a research project based to see if they were written by the same person, basically. So I don't know if just on the number of words used and loss theory and all that stuff I don't remember. Whether it was written by multiple people or the same person, and we did come to the conclusion that it was one person. Most likely all the works were written by one person
by
according
William
to my
Shakespeare.
research.
By a person going by the name William Shakespeare.
Yeah. That's
all right, let's talk to someone with absolutely no experience in this topic whatsoever. Joe O'Brien, your theory.
Well, Jared, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Having read no Shakespeare. No, I like Shakespeare, but I don't actually know about all of this, this whole debate. So, Paula, enlighten me. I need some context.
Who are the suspects?
Are you a conspiracy theorist in this world? Are you a radical with your approach to this? Or is somebody else more popularly thought of as William Shakespeare?
I don't believe it was Christopher Marlowe. I don't believe it was Sir Francis Bacon. Some people think that. I don't believe that.
These are the candidates. I don't want to reveal too much because our scenario is about this today. To some extent. But I will say that, when people debate the authorship of Shakespeare's plays, the other suspects, the other candidates are Edward de Vere, Paula's pony. Mm-hmm. And then also
she's backing that horse.
Yep,
yeah, Francis Bacon and Christopher Marlowe.
Marlowe's the kind of popular one.
People like to think he faked his death and then started writing as Shakespeare.
There are even people that think that William Shakespeare may not have been a person at all.
Yes, I've heard that
been a
too.
pen name. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've heard that too.
And I've done a deep research on all of this, aka watched a few YouTube videos, and I can tell you that it's open to debate. But then scholars sort of have kind of agreed on one thing, right? Paula, or no?
That the plays are awesome, and it kind of ultimately doesn't matter because they exist and they're fucking the best.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you want to know more, listen to my Shakespeare conspiracy episode of Death by Monsters.
Death by Monsters. Today's sponsor of the Glass Cannon Network.
I'm that chill.
As long as we can get Paula's podcast out there, I'm happy.
Yeah. And I just want everybody to know that I did get an A on that final project and an A- in the class.
Yes!
Wonderful, Mary Lou. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a great
I was concerned about your GPA, honestly.
It was rough
I was,
for a
because
second.
that's the kind of student I was. I'm like, you're failing the class as English.
Well, I was.
Breaking out in
I was
hives.
failing class.
I failed math twice in college, and then on the third time I went. And I ended up doing pretty well when I would go.
Yeah,
Nice.
turns
That does make a
turns out that
difference, yeah.
helps.
Yeah, it
The
does.
thing that I always think about Shakespeare, having no knowledge of the history of it and no interest in learning any of the history of it, is I don't think, and I've heard this before from other people, but I love to repeat it because I think it's true, and I can't think of a better example. I don't think anyone in anything is so widely considered to be the best at that thing as William Shakespeare is in writing. Or playwriting, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, you
Like,
might
there's
call
no
him
one
foundational, right? Foundational.
But
He's
think
sort
about
of invented
any other discipline. The
Seminal.
best of anything. There's always more of a debate, I think, than like the best writer or playwright of all time. He's got it on lockdown. I guess
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
he
why.
invented phrases that are just part of our everyday.
Yeah.
Like when you say green with envy, you're quoting Shakespeare.
Right.
Whoa.
We should play the game because I could just talk about this for 2 hours. Frank,
I know,
I'm
that's so
getting
true.
like
That's so
really
true.
like worked
Green
up
with
about-
envy, catch you on the flip side. That's Shakespeare, I think.
To the hand.
Let's blow
Talk to
this
the
pop
hand?
stand.
Yeah.
Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand is definitely Shakespeare. Let's blow this popsicle stand.
Gag me with a spoon.
Yeah.
Gag me with a
That's
spoon.
Shakespeare.
Oh,
All
that's
that in
from
a bag
Measure
of
for
chips.
Measure.
Yep. Yeah.
All that in a bag of chips. that was from a
He's
fella,
British,
right?
so he meant
Yeah,
French
that was
fries. You know what I
Othello.
mean? Yeah.
Clearly the greatest writer of all time. Well, now that we have handled all that, shall we hop in to the game with a brief recap?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Well, let's see how brief I can make it. This is a game about time travel, and our agents are Dakota, Blaze from the year 1900, a Wild West showgirl. Not showgirl, showman.
Showman.
Showgirl has different
Came out
connotations.
wrong.
I get what you meant
Yes.
by it.
Novelty
Imogene
sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Imogen Dupree, a flapper and spy from the 1920s, and Captain Oswald Pate, a lost explorer from the 1840s looking for the Northwest Passage. They were all recruited into the time travel organization TimeWatch to save the time stream from deviations that are created by time saboteurs, often alien influences on the time stream, such as the strange cockroach aliens they encountered earlier in our game. Now they're dealing with something completely different. They went back to the year 1700, where for some reason it was a deviation from the time stream. Britain had conquered France. The strangest part about this is that when they investigated, they saw that the people from England were not speaking English. They were speaking some sort of foreign and alien language. Our friend Captain Pate, played by Joe O'Brien, listened to it a little too carefully and now has a skill in the language. The language is called Tapek, and he has a skill of 1 point in that language and seems to be able to understand it and access it in strange ways occasionally. Our three agents continue to investigate, and they found that this definitely spread from England sometime in the previous century. So they traveled back to the English Civil War and learned that it had been fought between people who spoke the language of Tapek and people who had not. That is not originally how the English Civil War obviously went down. They investigated in
And that's a
Oxford.
deviation from the
That is a
timeline.
deviation. They investigated in Oxford, England, and they found that a couple decades previous, the entire university staff of Oxford was all obsessed with William Shakespeare's plays and had started to become obsessed with it and began only diving into that as the sole purpose of their university. And therefore, it is very likely that wherever this strange language is coming from, it is somehow derived from William Shakespeare. So I place you back where we left you last time on a green sloping hillside in Oxford, England. I believe the year was something like 1620 when we last left our heroes, because they had traveled back from the 1640s when the Civil War had been occurring. And you've just spoken to an Oxford Don or an Oxford student who told you that they were investigating the Bard, that they were a cryptographic hidden messages in the Bard, and they had found fascinating new applications of the English language in his work. And you know now that Shakespeare is somehow part of the problem. And so I ask you, please take this time to talk amongst the agents, figure out what your next course of action will be, and we'll move on from there. Birds chirp on the hillside. It's a beautiful spring day. Go.
One more time. We're right outside of Oxford right now. That's where we got left, right? This is where we found this break in the case, so to speak. Okay.
Yes.
And this guy's like on his way to a lecture about the
a lecture
text,
by one of the leading scholars in this movement. So part of me wants to go listen because they're not speaking Tapek yet. I shouldn't even say that word.
Don't even say it. And I remember actually, and also looked at my notes. You're in the year 1640 because before, when you were looking at the effects of the Civil War, you were in 1650. So you are in 1640.
I wrote down 1642, but I didn't want to correct you because I assumed I was wrong. And so I'm glad to know that I was not wrong.
You were correct. 1642. Thank you. Paula's like the student who's like, excuse me.
You assigned us homework?
Yes.
You forgot to ask for the homework.
I believe that's incorrect and I should be teaching this class.
I was happy to go with it. I was like, yeah, cool, 1620. You know better than me. You're
I
in charge.
reserve the right to change anything on the drop of a hat. Time is fluid.
So, my two ideas. We go and listen to this lecture, see at least who this scholar is, because that would be good to know. And then my second idea, and we don't have to do this now, but I do know that he was called the Bard of Avon or something like that. We can go to maybe where he was supposed to be from, see if he's around.
Yeah, we could. It's Stratford upon Avon, I think, and so we could go there and see.
Is he still alive?
No,
not in 1642. No.
Oh.
He's been dead for 30 years.
If I guess the question is, has his text been tampered with, or did he write this, or was he tampered with and he actually wrote it in, and we don't know.
I don't
Well,
know.
both of those things we will not find out from staying here. He's looking
Let's go to
around.
the lecture.
Yeah,
go to the
Go to the
We
lecture, but remember, there
our
is certain
earplugs handy
dangers.
just in case.
Yeah,
Well,
I
if we
got
have our earplugs in and we can't hear anything they're saying, what's the point of being at the lecture?
Well, if they start speaking in the language that shall not be spoken
we can just
aloud, we
run.
could put them in, you know?
And we run away.
Or run, yeah, that's also good.
We could, yes. Okay, let's go. Let's try it out. Let's go to the lecture.
Very good. You fall in with throngs of people that are all heading to one of the collegiate houses here on the grounds of Oxford University. And when you enter, you see that the lecture hall is filling, and it is just as the student told you. The university is now letting people into its doors that have not technically been admitted. There are a few peasants here. There are some women, which would have been which would have raised an eyebrow, and everybody is getting ready to hear this learned scholar, and he is, by the way, wearing the robes of a scholar of the 1640s, and he has like a kind of a puffy little cap. And he has a great hanging jowls, and you're not sure who he is, but he looks like a learned man. And other professors seem to be lined up in the front rows of this lecture hall. Are you going to just listen with your earplugs out, or what are you going to do?
I kind of want to like sit right behind those other professors and see if we can eavesdrop on their conversations. I'm gonna have my earplugs out for the moment.
All right.
until I hear the very first word of that black tongue, and then I put them right in.
I think just to have some balance here, I'm going to put my earplugs in just in case, but I want to study my the lecturer. I just want to watch his movements using my my knowledge of falsehood detection, just to be able to see if, based on like his mannerisms and his movements, can I detect anything that seems non-human about him, or does he seem to be what he is presenting himself to be?
Your falsehood detection detects nothing but sincere enthusiasm from this professor, who begins speaking and says, "We now know in this modern age that the greatest writer of any era, of any country, in the whole history of mankind is the great bard William Shakespeare, as evidenced by the folios printed of his work in some 20 years hence. These plays, although quite amusing in their own right, have an extra layer of genius. The bard has somehow unlocked a hidden depth to the English language that we heretofore were unaware of. And as one learns the key words within this hidden language, one's mind opens to new vistas of possibility, and the cosmos becomes clearer to the interpreter and translator. The first instance of this...
I'm going to send them a text message as this is happening. I'm going to pull out my tether, and I'm going to send a little text message through our not Apple branded devices here. Just saying, new idea when we're done here. Go to when the first folio was being printed, see if that's when it was tampered with. Send.
As I read that, I'm stuffing in my earplugs.
Yeah, I'm also stuffing in my earplugs.
Can I use spying? I would like to use my spying to read the lips.
Oh, interesting.
And
I love
think
that
I'm going
use to that.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
I'm going another direction.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt Joe. What was your plan, Stan?
I think I'm going to cause a scene. I think I'm sitting right next to Imogene, right? Like behind these professors, and we haven't had a chance to talk to them or overhear anything they're saying, and he just starts this presentation. And by means of a test of this, and him being British and him being a lover of William Shakespeare and all of his work and having read it extensely.
A reader,
more than I have, you know. I think, so he just, you see his like large form just stand up next to you. And he's like, "I disagree with you, sir." Like calls it out in this like auditorium in front of all these people. "I believe what you're looking at there is nothing more than gibberish. William Shakespeare is, of course, a talented writer, but these hidden words you speak of, they're not the English language at all. It's a bunch of nonsense. What's made you think it unlocks any potential?"
Now, there's a huge commotion. People are scandalized that you would have interrupted. And some of the rabble, some of the commoners are calling, shouting at you and ridiculing you. And finally, the Oxford Don says, "Now, calm down. New innovations always cause fear among those that do not understand them. But we live in a modern era where we can accept new ideas. This is the 1640s, by God." To one who would say to me, "Excuse me, do you have something in your ears, sir?"
Don't change the subject. Do not try to confuse and obfuscate these fine people that are trying to learn from you. First of all, I'd like to know, what about this makes you think it is a great work of English at all? What is your particular area of focus,
how
Professor?
How can we debate when you will not hear me, sir? How do you even know what I'm saying right now?
I have hearing problems. It hurts me very much, loud noises.
Well,
and when
then I shall speak as softly as I can.
And he'll pull out the earplugs.
To one who would come to me and say that these works do not contain hidden meanings that open the vistas of the cosmos to us, I would simply say, Visseldinks, rat nonnerlat. Make a chronal stability roll as he just says an entire sentence to you in...
Okay, so I believe this is going back to last week. Now, since we just time traveled here, we would remember this easily, right? I think I get a +1 bonus from Dakota on my next chronal stability check. Isn't that right? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, because
I have a note
I did
written
some
here.
medical expertise to give you some like mental shielding, I think, a little bit.
I think it's just
Right.
my next chronal stability check. So I am going to take that and I'll spend a point. And I will get a +2 on this. And now I'm hoping for the die roll.
You spent a stitch, right?
No. Do I need to? Can I spend chronal stability for a chronal
I
stability
understand.
roll?
I understand. Of course you may. Yes, you. Of
Yeah, I
course you
spent
may.
one from my pool. So I risk like losing my chronal stability over the course of the
Yes.
adventure if I don't. So I'm going to roll it. I got a 3, so that's a 5.
A 5. A 5 is enough in this particular case. And after he says that, a lot of other people are like piping up in the language. Specifically,
People just in the crowd, like all over.
mainly the students and the other professors.
Okay.
And so they're all speaking in this odd language.
I stand up. I see what's going on. I pull out my earplugs and I just go, fire! There's a fire! Everybody go! There's a fire right here! Fire! And start trying to like push people and get them to scatter.
There's a fire somewhere. I heard it.
Because I don't want anyone to hear this. I don't want them to get brainwashed.
Okay, very good. Are you using any particular skill?
I'll use I'll use I'm not sure which of my interpersonals are the best for this.
Do you have intimidation?
You know what's
I don't have
interesting
intimidation,
is
but I do have.
interpersonals are investigative abilities, so they give you clues.
Oh, so this would be a general ability then.
Well,
yes?
it probably would be, yeah. And I don't know exactly which one would apply here. Why don't we
What
just?
about she has a 0 in unobtrusiveness, and she's trying to be obtrusive.
I'm trying to cause a scene.
I'm going to tell you what happens. I think I know what happens based on everything we've just gone over here, which is that he finally goes, these Philistines refuse to learn the great wisdom imparted by William Shakespeare. Get them out of here. And now people are all like trying to help get you out of the lecture hall. In fact, there's right now, like 11 people grabbing onto Captain Pate.
Okay, so he's not gonna fight, and he's gonna say to Imogene, like, let's just go.
Yeah.
And he'll go,
Let's get
fine, I'll leave, it's fine. And he's not trying to fight anybody, and he's letting them walk him out, and he'll get outside without a scuffle if you'll allow it.
They are not scuffling with you, no. They toss you out on your ear, and they're like, let that be a lesson to you. When your betters is talking, you listen to them.
All right. Just for the record, I don't really like the use of betters. I don't think anybody is better than anyone else, but you'll get to that later in a few centuries.
The bard makes us all equal, but you won't listen. And he walks back in.
Okay, so that did not go as well as I thought it would.
I'm sorry,
I really
I
thought
lost
they
my
would
cool.
scatter. I'm sorry. I made it worse.
No,
No,
you didn't,
no,
Dakota.
Get out.
You helped us get. Well, thank God. He was going to say more of those words. And Captain,
True.
did you hear them? Are you all right? How's your brain?
Hear what? What are you talking about? I didn't hear anything.
Oh.
They haven't been using the language yet, right?
Oh yeah, they
We need to go
definitely
back
did.
to a time when they do use the language. That's what I saw.
Oh, Captain. Okay, I need you to listen to me real good. You know, you're the boss, and you know that we follow you no matter what. But I'm going to be totally 100% honest with you right now. I think you're starting to crack up because they were definitely using that language, and you don't seem to be able to know that anymore. So we got to keep an eye on you. Do you understand?
How are you feeling? How are both of you feeling? With your sense of self.
Okay, my chronostability is low, which is making me feel a little, anxious, we'll say. But I have no active threats upon my personhood at this moment, and so I am just letting you know, Captain, that we are perhaps not as stable as we usually are and as we like to be. So we need to tread carefully over the next few jumps.
Perhaps you're right. I feel fantastic. But I always feel pretty terrible. So yes, something is wrong.
It does
Something is
seem
wrong.
like
my usual
how you
aches and
normally
pains
are.
are not there.
Really? So you're feeling
Yes.
like a physical boost.
Yes, I feel emboldened. I feel strengthened. I feel like we could take them all on right now if we needed to.
At this moment, I'm going to, if I can, I have 2 points of reality anchor, and I'd like to spend 1 for each of them. And I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna grab Captain Pate and say, "Listen to me, man. You are sad. You regret that I know about your crew, and you regret you didn't go down in the ship with them. And it is a thing that eats you alive every day. Remember that feeling." And then I'll turn to Imogen and say, "You are badass. You are a spy. You know how to charm people. You are from 1920. Your name is Emma Jean. All right? So look at us. Feel who you really are inside. And I'm sorry that one of you is cool and one of you is sad, but that's just reality. We need to go back further. We need to go back to when this text got mangled with. And I don't know if it was in the printing or in the writing. But hold on to yourselves. I got us. I'll hold us together. Me, Dakota Blaze." And they get, if that was inspiring enough, they'll get.
Oh, hell yeah,
they each
it was.
get 2 points of chronal stability for my 1 point of reality anchor spent.
And
That was
I would like to
amazing.
give you a stitch. Please
Oh,
take
yes.
a stitch.
Well-
Because come on, saying that he lost his crew and everything, making him miserable again is the key to breaking this spell. He was finally feeling good.
Yeah.
But you can't get lost in that. That was great.
So
Awesome
I currently have 3 stitches, so I would like to spend 1 to be able to fill my tank back, to be able to accept this one. Now, can I do that to refill my reality anchor that I've just spent?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can buy
Yes.
the book. Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to get back my 2 points of reality anchor with one of those stitches, which knocks me down to 2 stitches, but Joe is handing me out a stitch, so I have 3 again.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm going to try and
works.
spin my stitches more, so I'm not. I need to take better
Hoarding
advantage of them. Yeah, I'm hoarding my stitches.
So Dakota gives you a pep talk out there outside of the university, and you find your grip on reality tightening a little more before you inevitably have to travel again. And so it's at least that seems to be the direction you're headed.
Yeah. What do y'all
Yes,
think
now the only
about?
question is where. We could go to where the pamphlets are
think the
printed, right? But
question
let's
is
think about the realities
when.
of the... Only question now is when. Well, the realities of the situation are what? We know that they show up in the pamphlets. It could have been before, or it could have been during that printing. If we've traveled back only to the pamphlets, though, we'll only know that they're not there. It seems like we would just be skipping back and back again. If we just go back to Shakespeare and find out if he's doing it or not, we'll know more to affect the future.
Yeah.
Won't
I
we?
think I think I agree with you, Captain. I think we gotta go to the, as far as we know, the horse is straight to the horse's mouth, and that horse is William Shakespeare.
Yes, do we
All
know
right.
a place where we could find him? A place where we know he'll be at a certain time, a certain
The
date?
old globe.
The Globe
Globe
Theater,
Theater.
certainly.
Yes.
If you wanted
That's
to
a real
travel
good
back,
idea.
your contemporary history tells you if you wanted to travel back to before he did any of this, because you're trying to stop it, right? And
Yeah.
make,
He
as,
wrote
and make
it
as
into
few
the
time
text.
travel trips
Yeah.
as possible. Then you'd want to
Yeah.
find him around 1593, because at that time he hasn't really written any of his great plays yet. He's just getting started, so you'd be able to catch him as he's writing his first plays.
Yes. Okay. Then, so then let's go there. The Globe Theater at that time at 1593.
There is no Globe Theater in 1593. It has
Is it
not
like-
been built yet, but you could look at your tether and find out where he specifically was supposed to have been lodging at the time. Do you do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You find that at the time, Shakespeare, a man in his 30s, was living in a family's house with rented rooms, and that he was in the lodging house of the. It wasn't a lodging house, but he was in the house of the Montjoy family. So you travel back to London, to I believe it's called Silver Street, to the home of the Montjoy family, and soon you are standing before a grand Elizabethan manor house on a busy street in London. Oh, but you must make travel tests. Let me see those travel
I think
tests.
I'm gonna
Oh,
spend one
baby.
of my stitches to avoid taking the test.
Yeah,
That's a good
So that
idea.
I
there
can
you
stay
go.
as
Now
stable
you're
as
playing.
possible on behalf of everybody else.
I'm gonna spend my last stitch to not make a test.
I think that's smart.
That's wise. I am going to roll, and I'm not gonna spend any points. I'm just gonna roll. And I rolled a 1. So
lose
I
2
lose
chrono
1
stability.
point. 2 chrono stability? That's
You
right.
lose.
It is 2.
You lose 2.
So the 2 I
so
just
much
got
for that
back.
pep talk.
All right, it's all right. He still has some buffer room here. He's usually pretty stable, and Dakota's talking to was perfect.
And I also have 2 points of reality anchor for my teammates. So
And you definitely you
excellent.
get more when you spend them for other people. So we'll keep an eye out for each other. Yeah.
You are
okay.
back. You are back in London. You are on Silver Street in front of the manor house of the Montjoy family. This is where Shakespeare made his home during these early years when he was getting started writing his plays. And I will tell you that you've gone back, and it is spring in London, and it is dark. You've somehow arrived at like midnight, and there's a light rain falling.
Yeah.
Oh, yuck.
Well, does it look like anyone's awake? Is there like a candle lit in a window or anything, or does it look pretty dead inside that house?
Yeah. Do you kind of walk around the house and see what's up?
Yeah, I will. Maybe some of my
There's
architecture
a candle burning
knowledge
in
will
one
tell me
window.
something.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Your architectural knowledge does come into play. You figure out where Shakespeare's rooms would have been, and you identify that the lit window is in fact Shakespeare's. There's a candle burning in that window.
I think with my unobtrusiveness, can we get to that room without waking the rest of the house?
I think that's great. Why don't you give me a roll?
Okay,
This is not that hard for you, Imogene, but I just want to see what kind of impression you're going to make on the great bard with your arrival.
Okay, I'm not gonna spend any points with this one. I'm just gonna roll.
That feels right.
I got a 3.
And that's enough for this particular roll. So
Nice.
you climb up toward his balcony. You're kind of right under his balcony. and you can climb up the vines here to climb onto the balcony where his window is.
I'll come up and
Very
say,
Romeo.
say, but soft, what light from yonder window breaks?
Yes,
Just say
yes.
that. He
Yeah,
either
what-
knows it or he's gonna know it.
The window opens, and like a guy in his 30s who's gone bald prematurely, and who has like kind of I would describe it as an unfortunate goatee, sticks his head out and is like, "What? Hello? Who's out there? And what was that you just said?"
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks?
That's good. That's good.
Write it down.
Pulls out some papers and jots it down really quick with a quill.
I look at the others, I go, don't tell TimeWatch I did that.
No way. No way. Because that's a really good line.
He walks out onto the balcony and looks down at you, and it's like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
We are friends. We're fans, actually.
Fans.
Yeah. And I'm
Fans.
using my charm. We're fans of your work as a playwright.
Well, how can you be familiar with my work? I've only done a few things.
And we've seen them all.
Would you like to come up? It just so happens I'm
We
working on a new
would.
piece right now.
What is it called?
This is a history. Henry VI. Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, it requires a lot of research. You have to know a lot about history.
Sure, I'm familiar. Yeah, we'd love to come in and maybe say hi and chat a
Come
little
in.
bit.
Yeah, certainly.
Oh,
Here.
gee, thanks.
Let me help you up here. Normally don't get visitors like this, although if you went traipsing through the house at this hour, the Montjoys would have my hide. Come in. And you have friends with you. You have a friend?
I have two friends, if that's okay.
Hi.
This is
Hello.
my sister and my father. We are actors, and we love your work.
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted to meet you and get to know you.
That
and
is Thrasmagitum. That is fantastic. Yes. Come in.
Wait. Oh, thank you. So why would the Montjoys have your hide? Are they like tough or whatever? Like, what's their deal?
Well, I rent the rooms from them, so I must respect their sleep.
Landlords.
Of course,
I get it.
I'm up all night writing.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you just say a made-up word? What word did you just say?
I'm sorry. What do you?
Transmagitive? Is that? Did you say what? Did I mishear you? I got
I don't believe I said anything of the sort. Did I get your names?
My name is Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And I'm James.
And I'm Juliet.
Juliet, a beautiful name.
Oh,
Truly
thanks.
beautiful name. Well, yes, as I said, I'm
Did
working
he-
on.
Say a weird word? Did Paula the player
Yes.
mishear, or did
No.
okay? So
No, you're
I'm just
dead
making
on.
sure
Keep
that
going. Keep doing
I am
what you're
not crazy. Cool. Okay. Good.
doing. Wait a minute. Is Jared infected by this thing?
Guys,
make a
that's
kernel stability test.
liturgiment.
Would my
Now I can't tell if you're using TAPEC or if you're just don't know how to say words right.
Yeah,
that's-
right?
I wanted to see, and I don't know what I would use other than maybe my trivia. Maybe Dakota knows a little bit about like just some Shakespearean trivia, and I feel like one could justify trivia knowing some of the phrases that were words and phrases that were created by Shakespeare. And is one of these, does this feel like something that he is just saying because he's a weirdo and he makes up words, or does this feel, based on my trivia knowledge of the kinds of things he made up, does this feel like TAPEC?
This feels like TAPEC.
Got it.
Let
He
me
doesn't
ask
even
you,
know- okay.
Mr. Shakespeare, like we said, we are
Softly.
so sorry. we are actors, and we're always looking for opportunities. And they say, get to know the playwright before they're famous. And we just feel that you are up and coming. You've only done small bits of work, but
You're actors, eh? All three of you?
yes, I'm
Well,
sorry.
yes, we know that women aren't allowed to be actors.
Well, we just dress up as men, dressing up as women, though. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so we like
they never
pretend like
find
we're
out.
young boys. Yeah.
A woman
Yeah.
dressed as a man.
I know,
And then he
it's
writes
crazy.
a bunch of stuff down.
Yeah, it's a regular case of mistaken identity. And we were a theater troupe, essentially. Yeah.
Well, a
Well, this
Delecidade needs to know how to properly craft an illusion, don't they?
Of course.
Can I?
Of course.
I'm gonna just push my earplugs in, and can I spend a point of notice? This might be wasted, but if it's something's here, I want to know. I want to just notice in the room if there's anything that feels like it is the source of him having been influenced by Tapek. Like, is there any written material or anything that feels like, oh, this is where he got it from, or there's nothing and we need to jump back further?
There's writing everywhere, right? But you realize not only is some of it in a different hand, you see 2 mugs on the desk. Someone has been working with him.
This is so crazy. Do you have a writing partner, perhaps?
Oh, me? No. All of my works are, of course, completely conceived out of my own mind. It's a
grab the
lonely job. It's a lonely job, but someone
But
has to do it.
Are the mugs hot?
They are not hot.
Okay, not still warm. Okay. Not still warm. It's yeah, right, and it's a real lonely job, especially at midnight.
Yes.
Do you, of course you don't have a writing partner. Of course it comes totally from you. But, as a collaborative group, we love to hear, would love some tips. Is there anybody that you sound your ideas off of? Perhaps the lord or the lady of the house?
Not really, no. I'm afraid it's just me and the muse. Yes. Well, it's been
Muse.
very nice talking to all of you, but it is
May I
quite
ask-
late, and I do have to get this done. So,
Yes. We will leave you to
perhaps
it,
you'd like
but
me
may
to
I
sign
ask-
something for you.
May I ask, what is it that you're working on? What
As
is
I
the
told you,
play?
it's a historical play about the great
Oh,
King
Henry
Henry
the
VI.
Sixth.
Yes.
Yes. And do you know anyone from the court of Henry VI or anyone who tells stories that would pass down from that time? I'm just curious how one would know of the inner workings of the royal court in that era. It has always fascinated me, and he's really laying on his high society here, making his accent sound very aristocratic, and just trying to talk like one aristocrat to another about the inner workings of the royal court and how would one know anything that happens there.
He's using high society, isn't he?
That's what I was thinking. High
Yeah.
society. All I've got to work with is high society or authority, which I'm not really telling him to demanding anything. So I think high society, and if you say that doesn't work, I'm totally down with that.
He says, well, I have these histories that I work with, and he pulls out some books that tell, lineages of the court, and I mean, they're you look through them and they're very dense. They're like histories, and he says, but I am an artist, and sometimes one's Trelvarbrigad must go in lieu of true information, mustn't it?
Mr. Shakespeare, I think you're absolutely right that we have taken enough of your time. Come, my daughters, let us give the man some space to work and to rest. And he's looking at you like, let's get out of here right now.
As you all are leaving, he touches your shoulder, Pate, as the ladies are
He
kind of
whips
like
around
leaving.
and puts him in a headlock. No.
And he goes, you understand, I can tell. The inspiration that grips me.
Yes, it is. Intoxicating, is it not?
And you see a really, like a kind of a marked twinkle in one of his eyes. It really kind of like pulses as he looks at you.
I know what it is you feel. It is that drew me to you. You must, if you finish the play, you must give us a chance. I would love to play King Henry.
Certainly, Richard and the others could audition you, see if you have the stuff. I'm not promising any large roles, of course, but we'd be willing to hear you.
Well, thank you. That's very kind. And he kind of eases out of the touch and like tries to get out of there, but he is definitely torn. Like he's drawn in. He also, I wonder if he ever visited the time of Shakespeare before, just for shits and gigs. You know what I mean? Like, if you're TimeWatch, like, can't you just go sometimes and check this shit out? Like, I don't know.
Certainly,
and he would be a big
TimeWatch
Shakespeare fan.
TimeWatch allows its agents to take vacations into the past, but they must be careful to take them in extreme anonymity, and often they're encouraged to go to uninhabited places if possible.
So in my idea of this, he has gone to the Globe. He has seen shows at the Globe. Why wouldn't he? And he has met William Shakespeare. And he just knows that something is different about this one at this moment. And it's really creeping him out. But he's also so drawn in by the charisma of the bard, right? It's just intoxicating. So yeah, he's pulled in two directions as he tries to force himself to leave.
At this point, Dakota, about to leave and go back out on the balcony, stops and pauses for a moment, turns back around abruptly, busts back into the room and goes, "You know what? I don't think you do have a muse. If you had a muse, how did you get it? Where did you meet it? What do they look like? How do they talk to you? I don't think it actually exists."
Taunt.
I am going to use my taunt. And I will, yeah.
Taunt.
Amazing.
Brilliant taunt.
She's very precocious. I'm sorry.
Look, you
my crazy
obviously
sister.
have a point you're trying to get to, so why don't you get to it, you upstart young lady?
If this muse is real, you'll tell me how you found them.
I found the muse through the sweat of my brow, through hard work on my own. And I know that. And then he starts talking in the gibberish tongue for a moment.
Yep.
And let's see. You used taunt, so you should get some sort of clue from this. In the middle of the gibberish, he drops. You hear Marlowe.
I hear it, I go, "Thank you," and
before that,
I know it. You
everybody
earned it,
is-
Paula. You earned it.
You must make a chronal stability test.
And is it all of us at this point, since we've heard?
I think all of you except Mary Lou
Yeah.
sounded like her character was exiting, but you were there. You came back in with Dakota.
I did. I
Yeah.
said sorry about my sister. Okay. A 2.
I rolled a 3.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, we're bad.
Oh no. Okay. Dakota and Imogene each get a TAPEX score of 1 under their interpersonal abilities. This allows you to understand TAPEC. You can kind of know what someone means when they use it. Unfortunately, Captain Pate, you get a TAPEX score, it goes up to 2. And if you felt good earlier, you feel absolutely fantastic now. You feel completely on the same wavelength as William Shakespeare. Like, it's almost like he doesn't even need to talk. Like, you know what his next word will be, and you understood every word that came out of his mouth, and it was somehow more eloquent than anything he ever wrote. He talked about how energy becomes ideas and how they are part of the same substance, and it's such a beautiful concept to you that you find yourself absolutely enthralled.
Oh my God, he's starting Scientology. This is astounding. In the
And now-
1590s.
That all of our players have become infected. We're going to take a brief ad break.
Oh, come on with this.
Darda Mart, Liebart, Nitsi, Ardadit, and we'll be back right after our sponsors say a few words. In Tapeback. See you in a minute. We're back in Elizabethan England, where our team has just interviewed William Shakespeare and had their minds blown by him.
Not in a good way.
True.
Not in a good way.
In a very bad way.
You are escaping his lodgings, back out onto the cobbled streets of the close buildings of Elizabethan London. This is before the Great Fire of 1666, which does that even happen in this timeline? So the buildings are all really close, and they kind of hang over you. The drizzle has stopped, but it is dark, and there's no light on the street. What do you do next?
I think we
Okay,
need to go
so-
see Marlowe.
That didn't go very well. So he's
No.
already been infected. Just like us now, I guess. Gah.
Look, I just
Oh,
want
yeah.
to say something.
Oh, no.
You may not
it-
like it.
Do not
But-
speak that language.
No. I would never. Look,
I'm ready to
we've all
punch him in the
spent-
face just in case he does.
I think we have all spent the better part of our lives protecting the timeline. With good cause. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this language he speaks, sure, it has the English overrunning the French, but the French were never much good for anything anyway. The question is, could it make a better timeline?
I rear back and
yeah.
I
What?
wallop him
I've-
right in the face. I punch him right in the face.
You punch Captain Pate in the
I
face?
punch him in the face.
Oh! Dakota!
Captain Pate, remember on our last trip, and I said maybe it's better. Is it wrong of us to take JFK and put him in the timeline where he's going to get his back of his head blown out? And you said this is what we have to do, and I said you're right.
You said that, Captain.
You said that, Captain Pate. You said that. That's right. Thank you, Imogene, for backing me up. Now listen to yourself. This is not the timeline we want. I know we're all feeling a little bit infected by this language, okay? But it's bad.
It's like a fever, okay? It's raising the temperature of our body, and so we're feeling like we can fight, like we can take on the world, but it's an infection, okay? We've seen its effects all over the timeline. They're kidnapping French peasants. They're dragging them into churches. They're brainwashing them. You saw it, and I did too. So now,
Yes.
Captain, you're really starting to cheese me off because you're jeopardizing our mission.
You're right. I just wondered if maybe it was a secret to unlocking some human potential.
It's
That's
not.
all.
I know
If it
that there are
was,
things
why
that you
would we be
regret, but
here?
this isn't going to help you. Yeah, we wouldn't be here. This would be the real timeline if this was some great secret we all needed, but it's
Well,
not.
what's so great about the real timeline, anyway? What's so great about it?
Okay, look, well, I know bad stuff happened to you, but that's also what led you to us, right? And we're pretty good, aren't we?
Yep. You're the greatest things that ever happened to me.
That's right.
You-
I'll turn on my charm a little bit now. That's right, we are. And you're pretty good for us too, Captain Pate.
So don't throw away the crew you have
Yeah.
for an idea of the crew that you lost. We're here right now. We have a
that's
job to
good.
do. We have a job to do, Captain.
I want to give Mary Lou a stitch for that line because that made me feel something.
I got teary-eyed. That was
So-
a really good
That's
line.
great.
Take a
Give her a
stitch.
stitch, and then I want
Okay.
everybody to make an unobtrusiveness test.
Oh,
Oh,
no, because
shoot.
I
Yeah,
can't.
I did shout
can't
it. I was
make
like,
a
we're not
test.
private.
Shoot.
I have no
this,
points
Well, in
in
this
it.
game, actually, when you are trying to notice something, see something with your general abilities, you use the general ability that would be used to hide it. So In other words, if someone is being unobtrusive, you use unobtrusiveness to see them with a general ability. So let's see how that goes.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 2 points on this.
Okay.
And I rolled a 5 for a 7.
I rolled a 6.
You both see
Nat
William
6.
Shakespeare kind of exiting out the front of the house and running down the street to go somewhere.
Okay, we'll talk about this later. Follow that bard.
Run off
Nice.
after him.
Yeah, okay. We'll go off after him. He snaps back into it, back on the mission, and we'll follow William Shakespeare.
Very good.
Which
you
I've never
follow
said
him-
in a role-playing game before.
Yes. You follow him to the
Tattooed by TimeWatch.
you follow him to the carriage house of the Montjoy house, and he grabs a horse and is about to take off on a horse.
Shit.
Okay, can we steal? Do they have 3 more horses?
Do we
Let's
know
see.
where the
Let me
Marlowe residence is?
Your tether might tell you that.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's just one horse, I'll follow him and y'all go get Marlowe. We'll just have to split up.
He's
If there's
probably
only one
going
horse.
to. He's probably headed straight to Marlowe's.
Right, I'm
Right.
wondering if we can just jump there 10 minutes ago. If there's no horses. And there are no horses. There's no horses. Are
There's
there
horses, but there are only 2 horses.
All right.
And I will say, you would have to make a very difficult unobtrusiveness test to follow someone on horseback and not be noticed.
I can't do that.
Okay, well, if he's going to warn Marlowe about us right now, is there any point of going to Marlowe's right now? Should we go to Marlowe's a year ago, 10 years ago to see, if we can stop this? We know it's Marlowe. We know Marlowe is the source of this inspiration or the muse or he's part of this.
I think we could get just a bit more information if we see his interaction with Marlowe. Imogen, you take the horse. Go, follow him, just one. If he sees you, it won't matter. You could put on any sort of face, make him think you're anyone.
Okay.
Dakota, you and I, let's jump to the house. See if that's where he's going. Otherwise, stay in communication, Imogen, and we'll meet up.
Okay, great.
All right.
I'm going to screw my earplugs in really tight, and I'm going to try and steal horse and follow, and I'll roll an unobtrusiveness to try and do that.
Okay, here you go. Give me an unobtrusiveness roll.
Okay, I'm going to spend 2 points.
Okay.
So I still have 2 left. Okay, here we go. That was a 4, so that's a 6.
A 6. Okay, I think that you are able to kind of blend in somehow. You stole the horse, is that correct?
I stole a horse, yes. And
Okay.
I'm going to make my impersonator mesh. I think I'm going to have myself look like a city watchman.
Okay.
So I'm patrolling the streets or something
There were
like
soldiers who had moved through the city at this time, and so
Yeah,
that is
I look like a
why Shakespeare rides past you and doesn't quite notice you. And he is riding out of the city. He is riding eastward. He is riding in the direction that you know from your tether research it'd be where Marlowe is currently staying, in Deptford.
Okay.
This is amazing.
I'm going to follow far enough behind that hopefully he doesn't notice me, but close enough that I could see if he goes into a building or something.
Right. Very good. Are the other 2? You're just sapping yourselves there. You're clocking in and clocking
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna jump. Yeah.
Do we
Okay.
want to go back like a few minutes so we're there definitely before? Because there's. Yeah, and then I wonder if I could use. I'm calling on this a lot. I would feel like I should, if we do this, I should spend my point of it.
What about preparedness?
Well, I was thinking, that maybe with my architecture knowledge, I would know. I feel like this is stretching it, but know a place that we could clock in at Marlowe's where we'd be like hidden. Like we'd clock in a wardrobe or something so that we could like observe without him knowing we're there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll allow that. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, and I'll spin my point of architecture to do it because that feels like a big.
And I'm going to go with exactly your suggestion. Captain and Dakota, please roll your travel test first.
Oh boy. All right.
I'll roll a 4.
Oh, fail. God.
Lose
You
some
are
more chrono stability, Captain.
in trouble.
2
There's some more
more.
chrono stability.
What are you at?
I'm at 5.
Okay.
Now, normally when you time travel and you go many years, it feels like you're falling for a while, but this feels like a step. And then suddenly you're inside of a wardrobe. There's like coats and heavy garments and scarves and hats all over you. And you can hear speaking happening outside of the wardrobe. You hear male voices outside of the wardrobe.
Are they
Captain
speaking?
Pate is trying to stay completely still. Yeah. He's such a big presence. He's like trying to quiet his breathing.
Are they speaking English?
They are not speaking English. They're speaking Tepec.
I want.
You said that you had your earplugs in, Dakota, I believe, last I checked. So I'm going to stick with that.
Is there a window I could look in, or a way that I could?
You're not there yet.
I'm not there yet. Okay.
Not there yet, but soon. They decided to go back in time a little bit when they arrived here.
Right.
So,
Right.
Okay, I want to do a thing. We can't keep exposing ourselves to this language, but we also need to know what they're saying. Is it possible to use maybe some form of preparedness, but also I think I'm going to have to use some paradox prevention? I want to just have some sort of device that will basically take this language and translate it into our ears in English so we know what they're saying without being influenced by it. But I feel this is like, to do this, I'm going to have like said that I'd somehow find the time to prep for it or make it or something, which I think uses preparedness, but also maybe because this is like,
can you combine it with me? Like, can you? Because I have the flashback ability, but does that mean it's like only things I'm capable of, or can I use a flashback for the team to like tell you to tinker this device out? But the thing is, the only thing I'll say against that is like we jumped into this mission not knowing it had anything to do with the language. We found that out when we were here.
That's why I'm feeling like it's a paradox situation.
Yeah,
I'll tell you something. If you want to clock out right now, create this device and then clock back in, then you spend months building it, right?
Yeah.
I'll let you do that, and I'm going to say, if you're willing to spend a point of paradox prevention, I know that this isn't a paradox you're creating, but you're very quickly kind of dealing with it with time travel. I'll allow you to spend a point of paradox prevention in order to do that. Okay?
I will do it.
But there's another cost.
Okay.
Which is, in order to create a device that translates, you must use your own understanding of the language, which you have a point in.
Yeah.
So, are you going to do that? Are you going to risk that for the team?
If I can do it so that we can all benefit, we have to. I just don't know how else.
If you do this, you've created headsets for the entire team that translates it without them having to hear it.
Yes. Yeah, I will, because they're gonna lose their minds. I'm better off than they are at the moment, but like I'm worried about them. I just don't think it's sustainable, and we need to be able to hear what's going on, I think. So yeah, I will take a potential hit on that to come back with something that protects everyone from it.
Dakota clocks out of the wardrobe.
I'll be right back in a stitch. And then
Dakota, where do you go to build this thing? Where in time?
I think I go to the Citadel.
The Citadel? Okay. And at the Citadel, I think techs help you because you're not exactly, the ultimate tinkerer, right?
Yeah. No.
Do you have tinkering?
I have tinkering. So use my tinkering and my science. I'm going to have to use someone else's someone at the Citadel who can like hack and like actually make computery things.
Do you want to risk exposing them, or do you want to use your own tinkering? Do you have any at all?
I have tinkering. Yeah, I'll spend.
Okay.
I have 6 in tinkering.
Oh, great. Why don't you do it then? You know enough about your universal translator that you can kind of rig something like this. And you also know a lot about TAPEC now.
I sure do.
So go ahead and give me in the Citadel as a literal weeks pass.
Gosh.
And Dakota gets up every day and works on this from dawn till dusk, which in the Citadel, there is no sun or really a changing of days. So perhaps she pulls all-nighters. First of all, give me your spend your point of paradox prevention. Says you're going to come back in a second. Now I want you to go ahead and you're using the language, so I want you to roll chronostability.
Oh boy.
4.
A 4 in this particular case is going to be not enough.
Oh no.
Oh, I was mistaken. It is enough. Sorry about that.
It feels like I'm getting lost in it.
Oh, wait. I'm so torn because you're really using the language completely to like create a lexicon inside of a computer.
I mean, I feel like it makes sense for me to take a hit from it.
I think so too. I'm sorry. I'm overriding the difficulty on the sheet here, and I'm saying that you take another point of TAPEC in order to do this.
Okay.
Whoa.
So
You're in
You little
TAPEC too.
Dakota.
I'm at TAPEC 2. So is this affecting my pool of chronostability at the moment? Am I losing anything from that?
You don't lose anything from your chronostability. It's just the roll for TAPEC. And now I want you to roll your tinkering to see how well this comes together. I'm not going to tell you the difficulty to do this.
I'm spending 3 tinkering points on it.
Okay, good idea.
I rolled a 6, so that's
Okay.
a 9 total.
Oh, nice.
You clock back into the wardrobe and you're holding headsets.
That's
like, here.
amazing. For months you've been gone.
Put this on, and I'll
right.
put it on. And so the only thing is, I guess that I'm not able to give it to Imogene yet, but I will as soon as we're in the same actual place.
The revolution is here. We simply need to safeguard it. We need to protect it. We know from the prophecies that William has to be its voice, its mouthpiece. But we are its guardians. Do you understand? Of course, Kit. We are of one mind. We are heralds of TAPEC.
Kit? Who's Kit?
Kit is
Can I
Christopher Marlowe's nickname.
Oh.
Oh.
Can I peek through the little crack in the wardrobe and see who Kit is talking to?
Yeah, so you see Marlowe. He is a rakish, handsome man
I go,
with a mustache.
He's no Archipov, but you know.
Right. And he is standing with 2 other men in a room in a well-appointed home. And another man walks in, and they're all speaking in TAPEC, and they're talking about the revolution that will equalize everyone in England. No more God, no more Jesus, no more nobility. Everyone is equal in the eyes of TAPEC. And the earlier thing he said, just to reiterate it, was that the prophecies say that William must be its voice, but they will be its guardians.
Okay, prophecy. I'm not there, sorry.
You are now. Shakespeare is riding up to the house, and you're behind him.
I wanna see if I can like look through a window and use my spying to read lips. I don't know if reading lips of TAPEC affects the mind like hearing it does.
I think that's such a really fun little use of your spying ability that I'm going to roll that it does not. It does not. So, but at the same time, if you can't quite understand what they're saying either, right?
Right. I only have 1 point, so I just like get the gist.
If you're just reading lips of tape, let's see. You're reading lips and you
Or maybe,
understand
like-
the language. You have a 1. Okay, yeah. You get the gist.
Okay.
You can tell they're speaking Tapek. You can tell they're plotting something.
Can I have seen the word prophecies, right?
Sure,
that is the word that's really interesting me right now. Prophecy.
And now Shakespeare walks up. Boom, 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 boom. Kit. Boom, 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 boom. And Kit Marlowe sends one of the men down to go and talk to bring Shakespeare up. And soon they are all in that room together with candles burning.
I look at Captain Pate. I go, well, what do we do?
Hold on.
Captain, I'm out of ideas.
You've done well. Let's see what he says to them. And let's see what they say to him.
All right.
You said that people would come
Just a
to
few
me,
moments.
Kit. You said that people that didn't understand my divine inspiration would start to appear. That they would come and try to, discourage my genius. Yes, that is what I said.
He
I
looks
think I've
toward
met some
Dakota.
tonight. I think they're in London. They act like they were actors, but, one of them knew about the divine fire. Yes, these people are very dangerous, Will. Remember, your job is to focus on your work. Let my friends and I handle them. And so,
Oh my god.
I think we got to go back. I don't know what to do
what you
right
need,
now.
what you need probably are clues. I don't want to feed you the adventure too much, but you now know that
We need to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I look through the window, look around the room, and see if there's anything pertaining to these prophecies? That's really what I'm like. Where did they come from? Do they have like a book written that there's something or some writing on the wall that I can try and tell what these prophecies are all about?
Well, you use spying to do your lip reading. What are you using for this particular little investigation?
I'm gonna use notice.
Okay, yes. And in fact, upon doing this, Imogene gets really up close to the window and she notices that there is a very old book open on one of the desks. And it looks like it might be 50 years old. It's kind of old and worn, and it's written in a close hand, but you can tell when you look very closely that it is written in Tapek, and there are weird alchemical symbols on it. This book is somehow connected to this.
I'm gonna type in my arm thing. Book on the desk. Important clue. See if you can grab.
What you're gonna do now is make an unobtrusiveness roll.
Me?
Yes.
No. Okay. Farts. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Actually, I think I want to fail this.
Yeah.
I think I want to draw them out of the room.
Ooh.
One of the men says to Marlowe, "They're here now." And he turns, this is all in Tapek, but I'm translating it because you created translators for yourself. And then he's like, "Get her! Now! Get her!"
No, don't chase me! No, don't! Oh no!
The men rush toward the window, and now we are going to go into initiative.
Chase!
Let us begin with Imogene, since Imogene started all of this and was on purpose luring them out the window. So yeah.
I want to use my athletics to just run as fast and as far as I can, all the while shouting, "No, don't chase me."
Very good.
I'm going to meet up with my team. Wait for me, team. I'm coming.
Well, then let us try to use the chase rules, shall we?
Yeah, okay.
Oh my goodness! I read
chase
these once.
rules.
I read these once.
I didn't think we were going to use these.
I didn't either.
I didn't either, so I didn't read them.
Well, this is a basic chase. You're going to be running down a flowery lane bedecked with shrubbery in Deptford, England, in the year 1593. But I'm going to say that you achieve. Let me see how you do on your athletics roll. First of all, who's going to go after you?
Who's going to go after me? Captain Pate.
Okay, and then let me see how your athletics roll goes.
Okay. Hearts. Do I want to spend? I'm going to spend 1 point. I'm going to spend 1 point of athletics.
Okay.
Come on. 4, 5.
5. Okay, great. So I think with a 5, your lead, you are the quarry, and your lead is near when the chase starts.
Yeah.
And it's not their turn to go yet, so we'll just deal with the chase between you and them. But basically, they want to get you. They want to keep getting successes while you get failures, and that means that if they are able to do that, if they can get your lead from near down to close and then down to point blank, they can catch you and do nasty things to you. But right now, you are 2 steps away from that point blank range that they need to have you in.
Okay.
And there are 3 men coming out the window after you. Those 3 men are not William Shakespeare and Marlowe. Those 2 are staying in the room. Okay? Does that make sense? So now, Captain Pate, it is your turn as Imogene runs down a green lane in Deptford in the dark of the night, under the dark of the moon. It is your turn, sir.
Can I say that I'm running towards my horse that I stole?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that an option? Okay, that's where I'm running to.
Yeah, that makes total sense, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so in the commotion, I guess Pate is just gonna turn to Dakota and say, "Get the book, if you can." And he just bursts out of the closet into a room with Marlowe and Shakespeare and just tries to take Marlowe to the wall. He's just gonna try to bam, like hand on the neck to the wall.
Very good.
Surprise him.
Yes. So I think that's scuffling, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Captain Pate bursts out of the wardrobe. How did he get there? Tears across the room and tries to put Marlowe in a neck hold.
Okay, I'm gonna say that this is not the be-all end-all of this. So I am gonna spend 1 point on this scuffle, and just see if I can just get him kind of to the wall. 6. So I got a 7.
6. Oh, so you got a 7. Okay, that's plenty.
So
do you want to do damage, or do you just want to get him out of the way?
Yeah, I'll do damage.
Okay, roll your d6 and -1.
0 damage. I rolled a 1. So he takes, which is fine. He takes him to the wall, smashes him into the wall, and he's just like, "Who are you? How did you know we were coming?" And he's looking in his eyes, like
one of Marlowe's eyes twinkles, and there's a light in there that is like so bright and so scintillating and beautiful. For a moment, you're drawn in, and now we go. Who is going to go next, Captain?
I'll have them go next.
Okay, very good.
Is it all of them, or do I pick individual people?
No,
I kind of want them to not know Dakota's there, so I'll let them go, and then hopefully Dakota will have more room to go.
It's the whole damn lot of them. So the ones following our friend Imogene. Let's see if they are able to catch up. Let's see. What do they have here?
What are they rolling? Is this athletics? This is all athletics?
They're rolling athletics. Only antagonists in this game work a little different. They just have kind of like a big pool that they draw from.
Oh, cool.
And they are drawing from that pool now. And your athletics was a 6, if I'm not mistaken, right?
What
Mine?
did you roll, Mary Lou? Yeah.
Or was it a
Oh, I rolled a 5. I rolled a 4 plus 1. It was a 5.
Oh, okay. So they have rolled a 6.
Oh no.
So that means that they've gotten one step closer to you. So instead of you being 2 steps away from them, you are now in close range to them. And if they get higher than you next time, they'll be on top of you. But I will rule, since you succeeded at your athletics roll, that you are at your horse now. So when it's your turn again, you can get on it and start riding via horse. They are going to declare that it has to be Dakota that goes next, but they're not done yet. Now, our friend Marlo will spend a point of Tapek and will talk in Tapek to Captain Pate. I can see that you know that we are building a better future. A future where there are no gods or kings. You know that this is the right direction. You know that you must help us. What are you doing? Who is with you? Stop them. Stop them.
But you've got your
And-
translator that's supposed to help protect you.
Roll your chronal stability.
You roll it.
Oh wait, you got the translator.
It's supposed to help.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you were
Translate-
playing the translator, so.
No, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Maybe it just gives them like a bonus die or something.
I think
Yeah.
that it gives you. I think it gives you +3. Roll
Plus
your chronal
3.
stability.
Chronal stability
three's
plus
great.
3. Wow, incredible. Nice work, Dakota. Come on.
What did you roll? A 0?
I rolled a 1, so that's a 4.
Okay.
Terrible time for a 1.
I'm going to rule in this particular case. You reach up and you start to pull your translator off of your head.
Oh my gosh. Captain Pate.
And William Shakespeare is going to cower in the corner, not understanding what's going on. And then it is Dakota's turn.
All right, I'll bust out of that wardrobe. My cyber arm.
Yes!
Yes, the cyber arm.
The cyber arm. Okay, so
Come on.
before this, if you remember, I mentioned before we went on this mission, I was like, I'm interested in some arm upgrades. So an arm upgrade that I have, and I will happily spend a point of preparedness if I need to do this, is a little like bit opens up basically out of my arm, and I've got a lasso in there.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna take that lasso and I'm gonna lasso Shakespeare to pull him toward me and get my gun against his head.
Oh, he
Because what
really
I
is
want-
the biggest domino. I mean, they can't let him die.
Exactly. And so I'm hoping I've got more, but maybe that's all I can do in one action. I don't know. I've got thoughts of why I want to do that. I want to see if I can get Marlo to tell me about the book by threatening to kill Shakespeare if he doesn't. But-
That's amazing. So I think that I'm going to allow that because Shakespeare isn't really combative. He's not like, going to really dodge. He's kind of cowering in a corner. So if you just
He's a nerd.
if you just roll your preparedness, if you'd like to roll that,
Yeah.
and you get a success, which shouldn't be too difficult, you can have him with a gun to his head.
I'm spending 2 points of preparedness. Oh yeah, so 4 plus 2 is 6.
Okay, you have him. Oh my God! Oh, please! Oh, God's wounds! Oh, and you smell something as William Shakespeare fills his breeches with hot urine at having a gun to his head.
Oh, man.
And Marlo,
Really, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah,
Marlo
really.
starts putting his hands out and goes. Now he's speaking in English to you. Don't do anything rash. Now, please,
Where?
please.
Where'd you get this book? Where'd you find it? That one right there with the prophecy.
But we must now cut to whoever's next, and you
Oh,
get to declare
I didn't name-
who begins the beginning of the round. It could be you, Dakota, if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that? I feel horrible saying
No,
me
that's
again.
perfect.
Do it,
Yes,
do
that's
it.
I'll say
perfect.
me again so that I can go. Where'd you get this book? I will shoot him in the head. It don't matter because I'm gonna fix this timeline either way, so I can kill him right now, and I'll do it. And then your plans are foiled. So you tell me where you got that book.
Christopher Marlowe looks at you and smiles and goes, I don't believe you. Do it.
Okay, I'll shoot him. No, I can't shoot him because he's gonna.
Oh my God!
If it'll be all of our capital will be gone. I will.
What do you mean?
Our leverage.
Our leverage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The leverage. All the leverage will be gone if I actually kill him. I'll just go, oh, you don't believe me? And I'll pull back. I've got the revolver, so I'll just pull back the handle and said, I will shoot him right now.
Marlowe is calling your bluff. That's what I'm going to tell you. And this is your turn, so you now have to act. Or you can say, I don't act, and that will have its own repercussions. So you tell me what you're going to do. And, you know, it might be something from your sheet, or it might just be an action you decide to take right now.
I'm a risk taker, and I've got a thought in my head. So I shoot Shakespeare in the head.
You shoot William Shakespeare in the
Shot
head?
William Shakespeare in the
And
head.
you were using your 6-shooter, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Boom! You blow William Shakespeare's brains out. Marlowe goes, no! William Shakespeare's brains splatter against the wall.
I said, you want me to fix this? I can make this all go away. But you gotta tell me where you got this book.
Okay. Who goes next? Who goes next after you go, Dakota? That was amazing. Oh, it's Stitch. You take a Stitch.
Stitch for shooting William Shakespeare.
Good job.
Stitch for shooting William Shakespeare.
I think Imogene needs to go next because I want her to have a chance to get on her horse before they catch her.
Okay. Imogene.
Yeah.
Do you want to ride off on a horse?
Yeah.
A horse is a living vehicle. Do you have vehicles?
I frickin' do.
Then I think that you should go ahead and roll your vehicles.
Okay, I'm gonna spend. Okay, I'm spending all 2 of my points in vehicle, and because I don't want to be caught by these bad guys. 2 and 2, that's 4.
4. Okay. We'll see whose turn is it now? Because we'll see when it's their turn. How you're doing. 4. Okay.
Okay. Oh, what? Wait.
You declare whose turn it is.
Oh, okay, sorry, I was too stressed out. Captain Bate.
Wait. You might want to let them go.
Okay, Marlowe.
Because they'll get 2 jumps on you if I go next. Yeah. I was just realizing.
Marlowe.
Yeah.
So, it's Marlowe's turn, and Marlowe is going to.
I can't.
Yeah. He has pulled a dagger from his pants, and he's going to try to stab Captain Pate.
Oh, come on.
Captain Pate, your hit threshold is 3, I believe, right?
3.
All right, here he goes. Oh, Captain Pate. Marlowe spends 2 to do this with his scuffling, and he rolls a 4, so he hits you. And with his dagger, he's going to roll just a d6, and he does only 2 damage to you.
Okay.
And he's screaming in Tapek. And now it is the men that are chasing you. It's their turn. Yeah. And you got a 4 to hop on it. And the 4 was to hop onto your horse and get going on it. So if they do better than a 4, they're gonna spend. They can spend 1 more. They're gonna spend 1 more point. And if they can do better than a 4 right now, they catch up to you and are pulling you off your horse.
No.
They rolled a 5. The 3 men arrive as Imogene is getting onto the horse and start pulling her down off of it. Imogene, they cut the lead down to point blank there by beating you, and so they are on top of you, and they are now within attacking distance. They don't attack this turn. They just start to kind of pull you down off of your horse. Okay. And they are going to declare who goes next. They will declare, well, they must declare Dakota again, right? Or no, Captain Pate. It has to be Captain Pate. Go, Captain Pate.
I'm sorry. This isn't going the way I wanted it to.
This is awful. I can't believe I'm getting my ass kicked by Christopher Marlowe. What a joke. All right. The book is the most important thing, I feel like. Oh, I want to say when he stabs me that he snaps out of any sort of like brief reverie he had of pulling the translator off, so that when he stabs him, he like, can he put it back on?
Yes, I'll allow that.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, right. Like, this guy is a pure enemy and not a friend or ally at all. And then I would like to... What I want to do is... I want to grin. I want to grit and bear the stab as if I felt nothing. And I want to laugh at him. And I'm just going to go... We don't bleed like the others. We're going to do whatever we want. We're going to come back and do terrible things to you as well. If you don't tell us where you got that book. And can I spend a point of intimidation?
Yes.
To force him to tell us?
Thank you for cleaning up my mess.
I found it. It was hidden away in an archive. It's a codex, an alchemical treatise by Faust. Johann Georg Faust.
Where? What library?
He tells you it was in a private collection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Then I will let Imogene go next. Oh,
Okay.
also, no. You know what? I'm gonna let Dakota go next, and I've got him like sort of grappled. He's stabbed me, and I want to turn to Dakota and just be like,
"Tell Imogene, we're going now."
So I guess just communicate with her, and we gotta just pick a place to jump because we gotta do something else.
Yeah.
Because I don't want her to get caught before she gets out of there.
Yeah.
I'll say, oh shoot.
Wait, okay, so you made Dakota go next? Is that what you said?
Yeah, with the plan to,
Okay.
like, Dakota sends a communication, and then you should tell Imogene to go after you, right? Like,
Great.
Yeah.
and then we could all maybe just jump. Send her the
Yeah.
coordinates and the time. And you don't even have to tell me, technically, right? Like, you could just touch me and take me with you. Right? Like, I wouldn't have to do my own time travel thing in an emergency situation. You could just take me, right? I may still have to make the roll, but like... Right, Jared? Didn't you say you could, like,
That's
just
true.
take someone on a time jump?
Oh, yeah, you can piggyback.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Oh, piggyback. Right. So you piggyback me and just communicate to... Yeah.
I will text Imogene and say, getting ready to jump, stand by for coordinates. And I'll go,
And if you want to go to that where he picked up that book,
Yeah.
he gives you the name.
Oh,
he
perfect.
He gives you the name of the private collection he got it from. It was from a German bookseller whose name was Zumloen. Hannefried Zumloen. And he gives you and he found it in London. He negotiated for the book in London 5 years ago.
perfect. All right. Okay, so I say, get ready to jump. And I'll give in the information. London, Zoomloan bookseller, 5.5 years ago.
Okay.
Wow,
So
that's a lot of info to give in very high stress situation. What skill do you think you're using?
I'm using...
Preparedness?
Preparedness would work perfectly.
Great. Preparedness. That's totally what I'm doing. Thank you, everyone.
You have your communication network on your tether rigged to instantly copy coordinates that you've put into your own autochron, and you are going to zap it.
It's like
over
dropping a pin in a Google map. I'm like, this location.
But in history.
Exactly. Right. I'll spend a point of preparedness because I assume I need to see if this works. Oh yeah, I rolled a 6 plus that point is 7.
Very good. Very well done. Okay, so you instantly get this. And are you declaring that she's going next? Are you declaring that Imogene is going next?
Imogene should go next.
Imogene, you suddenly get this communique as they're yanking you down off your horse and pulling daggers. You get this communique onto your tether on your wrist.
Okay. Okay. So what I want.
Will they come with her if they're touching her?
Well, this is the problem. You do have to get a little bit of distance in order to.
Yeah.
Your autochron isn't like activated by thought. It has to be used.
So here's my plan. I want to use scuffling to try and push them away, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to taunt them. I'm going to taunt them, or I'm going to pull out my. Well, I guess I have to see if scuffling works first.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna spend 3 points of scuffling.
Okay, very good. Go ahead and roll to get them off of you.
That's a 3, so 6.
Yes.
That is a success. You managed to get them all off of you for a second. You've put the horse in between you and the interlopers, the agents. Yeah. So, what are you going to do now?
I'm gonna pull out my autochron. I'm gonna pull it out. And I'm gonna like juice it up so they can see it's like doing something. And I'm gonna taunt them. And I'm gonna say, do it. Touch me. Like, do it. Do you know what'll happen? You'll get vaporized. This thing is perfectly, calibrated with my DNA. So it only works for me. And if it tries to work with someone else, it will instantly vaporize you into nothingness and you'll be floating through the timeline. Nowhere, no when, forever. Do it.
They look at each other and they say, and then they just start to step forward. They're not afraid of your threats because they have the power of Tapek behind them. The horse is kind of bucking and you do have a moment. So are you gonna spend a Yeah. So are you gonna are you spending a point of taunt?
I will. If it'll work, I'll spend it.
If you spend the point, I think that you keep them talking to each other for just long enough to get your autochron revved up, and suddenly the champagne bubble forms around you, and back inside the house. Do you guys clock out as well?
Oh yeah, I'll put my hand on Captain Pate and bounce out of there.
What about Marlo? He's still up and bumping around.
I mean,
is he touching?
I thought you
do I
guys
need
were
a round?
grappled.
Do I need a round to get him off of me?
I think you probably
Is that what
do.
you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was
okay.
Who goes after you? Who goes after you, Imogene? Marlo and the guys, or Captain Pate?
Captain Pate.
Yeah. Okay. Great, Captain Pate. You got to get him off of you.
I don't think we're doing it right. I think that I went, and then Dakota went, and then Imogene went, and then they went, which is those guys coming after her, right? I mean,
it's Marlo's turn.
So I think it's Marlo's turn.
Marlo
he could go again if he wanted, I think, by the book.
Yes, it's true. By the book. Thank you, Joe, for being honest. Marlo goes twice. Here he goes. First, he tries to stab Captain Pate again.
I already told you, there's no point.
There isn't a point because he rolls a 1. Now, the bad guys go again. And this time, here's what I'm going to roll. If they succeed in a scuffling test, they're going to, at least one of them is going to piggyback with Imogene on her time hop.
Amazing!
TimeWatch's going to be so mad at us.
And let's see how they do. Yeah, they succeeded at that.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So there's only room for one, but one clocks out alongside Imogene because he's holding onto the autochron. And then Marlowe, what does Marlowe do? No one's clocking out in that room yet, so he doesn't know that there's another element at play. He also doesn't quite understand time travel.
And for 2 rounds, I haven't fought back. I've just kind of like laughed at him. I'm like, you've got nothing. Just
He grabs the, you know what? Marlowe grabs the codex and runs with it, thinking that he is saving it from destruction or something.
okay.
Right.
So let us then end our combat round, and let us then ask what we know that you're zapping back to where basically Marlowe bought the book. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you're doing that. That's what Imogene is doing. What are Captain and Dakota doing?
Yeah, I want to pull out the Autochron and I'll just grab Captain Pate so we can do this quickly and jump to
Travel tests, everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a stitch to not have to make one.
Good idea.
I will spend my last stitch to not take that chest. I'm getting too low. God damn it.
I am also going to spend my last stitch and not take it.
Yeah.
But as soon as we land, well, we have to take care of this guy that's piggybacking off of me. But when that's over, I want to spend one of my reality anchors on Captain.
You land in London in 1588 outside a bookstall where a ruddy-faced German man is selling his wares. It's a market day. People are out and about buying all kinds of things, saddles, tinctures. But this man happens to have a small bookstall here. And you see a young Christopher Marlowe is walking towards it right now. But you have bigger problems, Imogene. You're grappling with one of his men right in the middle of the street. And I'm going to start a completely new initiative round. And I'm going to say, since you were surprised by the fact that he journeyed with you, he's going to go first. And he is going to scuffle with Imogene Dupree. And the person that's going to go next will be Dakota. Will clock in and be able to act. Okay, ready?
Back to the combat music. Let's go.
Yeah.
He hits with a 4. And so he's going to do damage to you, but he's just using his fists. He hasn't pulled any sort of weapon. And the damage he does to you, Imogene, is a 4 damage. He does 4 damage to you.
Okay,
And he's
I'm at a
literally
6.
bashing Imogene in the middle of the street, and people are starting to notice and shout. Suddenly, you clock in an alleyway nearby, Dakota.
And then I see this. It's not what I was expecting. So. That horrible husband of hers. He's always hitting on her like this, and I'm gonna run over and try to sneaky stun him with my point blank, stun him with my pacifist disruptor, so that he can go down and we can just min tag him and get him out of there.
You're going to do this in a sneaky way, huh?
I would like to sneak I don't want people to see that I'm tasing him, basically, but yeah.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you, and I should have been clearer about this a moment ago. Imogene just clocked into the middle of the street, so
everyone has seen what's going on.
Yeah, I think
everyone's like, "What the heck is happening?"
But I don't think they quite processed all of it. They mostly are noticing the scuffle, like they're rationalizing in their minds. Oh, there was some sort of fight going on, which isn't that unbelievable in the middle of a London street in 1588. Right. So, but do you want to use your pacifist and you want to try to make it, okay, I can just up the difficulty and you can do it without anybody seeing. Is that what you'd like to try to do?
Yeah.
How much of your shooting are you spending?
I'll spend 3.
Okay. Roll that shooting roll.
I rolled a 6. That's 9.
Oh, so I was going to say,
niner.
in order to do it without people really noticing what you're doing, you needed to get like at least an 8 here, and you rolled a 9. So you kind of walk up and you're like, her husband is a lout, or whatever you say.
He
and
drinks
then
all the time.
You
I
put
hate
the pacifist up against him, and boom, you hit him with the pulse, and he is going to try to resist stun.
Don't you do it, you bastard.
He fails and goes unconscious.
Yes!
What did I
And,
tell you? Passed out from the drink.
Who goes next?
Can I? Imogene hasn't gone yet, right? We'll have Imogene go next.
Okay, great. Imogene, it's your turn.
Great, and then I'm gonna have Captain Pate go next. I'm just gonna go, oh, but I love him so much! And I'm gonna cradle his head, and by doing that, I'm gonna slap a mem tag on him.
Great, done.
And go, oh, my beautiful husband. Oh, he beats me, but I love him. Oh, that's problematic.
Oh, it's problematic.
All the problematic content you've grown to love from the Glass Cannon Network. Okay.
So, yeah, I slap a mem tag on him so that he will...
You'll need to drag him out of the middle of the street as well.
Oh, my beautiful sister, help me get him home. We
Okay.
drag him back into the alley where she came from.
Captain Pate, you clock in an alleyway right where Dakota clocked in almost simultaneously, but you can act now.
I mean, have they taken care of it? Because basically,
like
I was
it's
going to
taken
drag
care
him
of.
off. Like, taken care of. Okay.
Well, you can help drag him off if you'd like.
Nice work, team. Yeah,
And
I
while
think he's
you
just...
all are dragging him off and getting him into the alleyway with the men
How
tag
about,
on
can
him.
can I,
No, yeah, don't help him. Don't help us drag him. Get eyes on the book.
Yeah, Marlo is already perusing the bookstall's wares.
Oh, right. Oh, God.
His
Wait, so
I'm
we
gonna say
jumped
that.
in...
As we're
We
dragging,
jumped
I'm
in
gonna
the
say,
exact
Captain.
day that he's there?
That's what you were trying to do, right? Look, for maximum drama, yes, that's what's happening. Okay.
Okay. I
maximum
missed
drama,
that.
yeah.
No, you go to a bookstall 3 days earlier, nothing's happening. Yeah, Marlo is there.
Okay, all right. Let me kill the... All right, so then for my turn, are we still in rounds? Or
No, you're out of rounds now.
Okay. Then, as long as they're out of sight of people and want to zip this guy back, back with the mem tag, I'm gonna walk up to the bookstall. Is it outside? Is he browsing
it is
outside?
outdoors. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. He's browsing outdoors. Captain Pate is gonna walk up, act like he's browsing. Oh, very interesting. Look at this book, that book. Turn, kind of make eyes with Christopher Marlowe. But, what are you looking for there? You need any recommendations?
I'm looking for what I'm always looking for. Something strange. Something that excites me. Of course, I don't speak German, so I don't know that any of these are going to be quite what I need. And you see his hand land on the very book you noticed earlier in his study in 1593.
Okay. So, oh, no. You don't want that one. Pure garbage. I've read it myself. These Germans, the trash that they pass off as literature. Believe me.
I'm just going to take a look. It looks like it might be illuminated. There might be some fine artwork.
Tell me, Mr. Marlowe. And he'll, put a hand on his hand.
You know me.
You can... That's my 0 in disguise. See how good I am at role-playing? Fuck. Of course I know you. I heard... Fuck. I heard that you were in town. We've met before. You don't remember?
No, I'm afraid I don't, Mr.
Mr. Carlson. The widowed... Beatrice's function. Do you recall?
The
ball.
widow Beatrice's function?
The ball.
At this point,
Oh, it's been
Dakota
he's
looks
struggling.
at Imogene
This
and
is
is like,
not his bag.
we can't let him be the only one talking to Marlo. You know how he is. We gotta get over there and do
Oh
something.
my God, you're right. Oh, he's gonna
And all
bungle
he's thinking
all
is
of
like,
this.
Imogene, save me.
So we've mem tagged him. He's out.
He's out. He's laying in the alleyway with a mem tag on, and you see him start to fade away. Of course, if everything goes correctly with your investigation here, you may have never fought him in the first place in a way, if you know what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna rush back, and I'm going to use my Don't I Know You.
Ah, yes. You quickly hack your impersonator mesh, and you arrive as who? Who does he know?
As
Oh,
The
one
Widow
of the men you
Beatrice.
as who? As
The Widow Beatrice.
Is this what is that even based on?
Oh, I don't know.
Captain Pate's not so good at lying, and so
You're right.
yeah, but yes, you can impersonate a character and maybe make him believe he's met you if you'd like. Yeah, that's fine.
That's my goal. That's my goal. Yes.
Okay, very good.
Mr. Carlson. That's what she sounds like. But of course, Imogene just still sounds like this.
Yeah.
Mr. Carlson. Oh, Mr. Marlowe. Oh, what a coincidence seeing you here. The last time I saw you was at my function, the ball.
Marlowe says, "I understand. The hen is in the roost."
Yes, it is.
He walks with you a little ways away and says, "No, nothing new to report, but I can meet you here again."
Yes.
Because he's
Meet me here.
queen or
Meet
something,
me here
right?
again in what do you think? 24 hours?
That soon. Yes, I can make it here.
Will you have anything new to report then?
It's possible.
24 hours. See to it. Spend your time wisely. Remember, a stitch in time saves 9.
Very good, madam. And he takes off into the crowd.
Okay, guys, what the hell was that?
What is happening?
Wait a second.
get this book.
Christopher
We gotta-
Marlowe never picked up the book.
Right.
That means that you've changed the entire timeline. Suddenly, all of you go, "Ooh," as everything shakes around you, and you feel your bodies kind of slip in and out of reality, and everybody must make a chronal stability test.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh, I did say that when we got out of combat, I wanted to spend one of my points of reality anchor on Captain.
I don't remember you saying that.
You don't remember saying that? Me saying that?
Does anybody else remember Mary Lou saying that? All right, then I accept it.
I did say it, I swear.
Both of my
I
players
said,
have just raised their hands to say they remember that.
I did say it, I promise. I
Let's
swear
run
to God.
back the tape. Let's run back the tape. No, I trust you. Okay.
Okay. So I spend 1 on Captain, so he gets 2.
When did you do that? I don't even understand how quickly that happened.
That was right before we jumped, and I said, I know I'll have to take care of this scuffling first, but once I've taken care of the scuffling, I want to spend a point of reality anchor on him.
But that involves talking to him. You know what? I hate to be that
Okay.
GM,
Okay.
but I think that would have involved a long conversation
okay.
that you didn't
You
have
could
time to
also-
make.
You're
It's
right.
all right, Marlo. You could also do it after this test, right?
You're right. You're right.
Yes.
You're absolutely
Yes.
right.
Okay.
This is the first chronal stability check that I have passed in 2 whole episodes. 5.
Nicely done.
I
How'd you do,
believe.
Dakota.
Oh, it's not looking
Fail.
good. Not from the
I
looks
failed.
of it.
I realized that there's something about having killed a person for the first time. And not only did I take a life, even though I think we're gonna fix it and it doesn't count, but I blew the brains out of one of the world's most genius minds.
Yes, it's true.
And that is really starting to hit Dakota. So as things around her are melting and going unstable, that is like the straw that snips the thread of reality to mix multiple metaphors. And yeah, she fails. She fails that.
You lose 4 points of chronal stability.
Oh, that's bad.
Did anybody else fail?
Yeah.
You
No,
lose
you
4
didn't.
points of chronal
I rolled a
stability.
1. That leaves me with 1 point of chronal stability.
How many points do you have left, Dakota?
4.
Okay.
I have 6. Since when?
You're
Guess
the
what,
most
guys?
stable all of a sudden.
I have failed I think I have failed every chronal stability roll that I don't get for free. I've gotten plenty for free. But the ones that I roll, I fail.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. What the hell was that? Oh, you know what? And I'm gonna look them both in the eyes, but mostly looking at Captain because, well, they both look really shaken. So I'm gonna put my hand on each shoulder and I'm gonna say, "Look at me, look at me. I know that was really scary. That was really frightening. That shook me to my core. But you know what it means? You're trained TimeWatch officers. You know what that means. What that means is we changed the timeline, and that's a good thing." Okay? And I'm going to use my reassurance on them. Maybe not spend a point, but I'm going to use my reassurance on them and say, "That's a good thing. We just did a good thing. And it might have hurt, right? But this is a success."
And you spend those points, and they each get 2 points back. Is that what you're doing? Spending for each of them?
Yeah.
Okay. And you feel reassured, you feel confident that you've saved not just the world, but the universe by cutting off this infection of Tapek, by finding this one book of prophecies by Johann Georg Faust. It's actually still on the book cart, so let me know what you're going to do about it. But
But we have a new problem.
Right. How many copies of this book are in the world? Probably not many, but there might be more than one.
We got it. Okay, and also, Marlowe is in some sort of conspiracy that he now thinks that I'm also a part of.
Right. What is that about?
I think he's a spy for the queen.
yeah, does someone want to use one of their skills to know something?
Falsehood detect. No, it's not falsehood, right?
Could it be my?
Jeez.
Could it be my trivia? Because I feel like this is trivia to Paula.
Yes, I think it is trivia. According to some rumors, but it's never been historically proven, Christopher Marlowe was a spy for Queen Elizabeth.
What? That's why he had
Yeah.
to fake his death. But he
He
wanted
was
to keep writing, so he became Shakespeare. They say.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's not.
Yeah.
What, a spy for what? What do we mean? Like, what was he spying
For the
on?
Privy Council, so Thomas Walsingham, Queen Elizabeth's spy master, often had a lot of run-ins with Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe was based on his irreligious ideas, was supposed to not graduate Cambridge, but the Privy Council of the Queen intervened and made sure that he graduated and could be, an upstanding gentleman in society, because some theorized they wanted to place him there and make him a spy in London for the Queen. So, of course, when strange people came forward and started talking to him in a strange way, he thought, fellow spies.
Interesting.
So, what do you do with the book?
I will take it and say, I think maybe we should burn.
Excuse me.
I will buy it. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. And he says how many shillings?
Oh yeah, I have that.
You
I want to use
probably
my.
do.
I want to use charm, and I'll spend a point happily. I want to know where he got this, and if there are more, I want to know everything he knows about this book.
Yeah.
This
Perfect.
book is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. You see, my family once owned a hotel, not too many years ago, about 40 years ago, and a famous alchemist stayed within the hotel. He conducted many strange experiments there. Some said that he was in league with the devil.
Wow.
One day, his experiments went too far. They say the devil came to claim him. I say that he probably mixed the wrong two chemicals, and he blew up my family's hotel. All of his records were completely destroyed, save for one. They found it sitting out in the snow, laying in the snow in a puddle. This book, his own private diary of his alchemical experiments. Of course, it is useless to me. It is written in some sort of code. I can't make heads or tails of it.
Well, I like the pretty pictures, so we'll take it.
You take it, and based on that wave that went through time, things have really changed, and you have the offending object. You think that you may have solved this one, everybody.
So we need to jump into the future and see if we did.
That's right.
A real
So
quick
we need
check.
to jump back. Do we jump back to France in 1700? Is it
Go to our starting
1700?
point.
Yeah,
Was that it?
1700 was where you initially dropped yourselves.
Paris.
Let's go back to our start, see how it looks. Hopefully it's all good. We destroy this book. We get back to the Citadel.
Yeah, okay.
And I talk to a therapist or something.
Travel
Sure.
tests, everybody, if you're jumping to 1700 France. Paris.
Ooh. Come on. 1.
4.
Come on, O'Brien. Come on with this. Oh, another fail.
You
Back
lose
to
2.
one.
Each of you
Back
lose
to
2.
1.
But
Oh my God, he's toying with being lost forever, right? Like, it's not just lost for the mission. It's like lost forever. Chronal stability.
Well, if you get down to 0, you will be subsumed by the timeline. But you're not at 0 yet. And in fact, the last scene we'll set for today is that you are looking at a busy Paris street in the year 1700. There are no soldiers. Nothing is burning. Everyone is speaking a language you recognize, but maybe don't speak. French.
Nice.
And as you are standing there,
Bonjour.
yeah, bonjour. Someone comes by and is like, bread. Who wants some le pain? And you realize that you have succeeded in cutting off this infection.
Nice. Amazing.
We did it.
And
thank
so
goodness.
the sun sets on a beautiful 18th century Paris as our 3 friends enjoy some fresh baked French bread.
Yum.
And when we come back next time, we will have yet another adventure for our crew.
Yes! Really?
The final session of TimeWatch is next week. Be there and tune in. Thank you to Mary Lou, Joe O'Brien, and Paula Deming for joining me again. We'll see you next time, Glass Cannon Naish. Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. We did it! Another one. We did it.
Yes.
Oh, wait, was Shakespeare alive or was his brains blown out?
Well,
Hopefully he's alive.
if you, I'll explain it later.
Time travel like, gets very complicated.
I'm like legitimately like physically like I just went through something very stressful.
That was stressful.